You're watching the Ravens Rundown Mailbag. It is my favorite segment of the week. Your questions, my answers on anything surrounding the Baltimore Ravens. All of these questions come from the fine members of the flock. And if you're one of them and want to get your questions the next time, make sure to join us on Tuesdays. One of the ways you do that is hit those bell emojis, okay? Turn your notifications on because we go live every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Getting those noties on just means you get notified every single time that we drop a video. Right now, we got 3.8 thousand members of the flock in the Noti gang. I want to get to 4,000 just from today's video, okay? I need 200 diehard Ravens fans to hit those bells and join the Noti gang right now. Let's start with Joe. Great name, Joe. Hashtag Ravens, what do you see the AFC playoff standings being? Phenomenal question. We got to go to last year to kind of like, because I want to just get everybody caught up on what they looked like in 2024. So the playoff standings were as follows. The Chiefs had the number 1 seed, and then the Bills had that number 2 seed, and then the Ravens won their division, were at the number 3. The Texans won their division, were at that number 4 spot, and then the wild card were the Steelers. It was the Chargers. And also, who's in that last wild card spot? Steelers, Chargers, and Broncos as well. Okay, so now we got that underway. I think that the Ravens are going to be the 2 seed. I think the Bills are going to be the 1 seed just because they're not better. They play in a worse division. Okay, they win a lot of games because of that. And so I think it goes Bills, Ravens, Chiefs, because I think they kind of take a little bit of a step back. I think the Texans are still going to be in that 4. They're still going to win their division. Their division sucks. I think the Chargers, Broncos are going to be in the playoffs as well. I do not think the Steelers will be in the playoffs. I would not be surprised if maybe the Dolphins kind of take a step back up and start playing a little bit better football. Maybe the Bengals take a step up, play a little bit better football. That's probably what I'd say right now. Darius Williams saying, hashtag Ravens, do you think Lamar Jackson's going to run more since he's got a good backup quarterback? I don't think that's going to be the reason. I hope he runs more just because he's better when he runs more. And we all remember when his mom cussed him out, and so he started running more, and it was really awesome against the New York Giants. But I don't think that was a reason he ran less last season, was because Johnson was the backup. I think it was just because he tried to protect himself a little bit more. I think that's going to be the same this year. He'll still run a good bit. He'll still have a ton of rushing yards, but I don't think it'll be because of Cooper Rush. Miko Rantanen, back-to-back weeks for Miko. What's up, man? Are the Ravens going to trade Rashod Bateman? I don't think so. If you guys remember, he was on the trade block, quotation marks. There were discussions between Dallas and Baltimore about acquiring Rashod Bateman. Baltimore chose the deal with George Pickens over Bateman. But that let me know that at least Baltimore is somewhat open to having discussions about it. I think after they said no to that, after they passed on that, I think they're just kind of like in the mindset of, okay, let's just run with what we've got. I hope they don't trade Rashod Bateman. I think Rashod Bateman has a chance to be the wide receiver 1 on this team in 2025, okay? I think he's extremely special, and I'm so excited to see him in year 3. I think he's going to take even a bigger jump, or I guess year 4. Let me know down below. Should the Ravens trade Rashod Bateman? Give me a yes or give me a no. If I know my guys and girls that watch the Ravens Rundown, I'm going to see a lot of no's. So let me know in the comment section right now. Next one coming up from Yaml PR. Will Lele be replaced by Emery Jones this season after week 1? I don't think so. I don't think so because I think that if it does happen, it'll happen later. John Harbaugh mentioned during rookie minicamp that Emery Jones wasn't playing because of a labrum issue. And so because of that, he missed rookie minicamp. He's going to miss OTAs. They said he hopes to be back by training camp. That's a lot of time for a rookie to just be flat out missing, to be not there for. And so I think that's going to hinder him, especially when he's going up against 2 guys. One of them played all 17 games last season. and Daniel Falele. One of them, and Andrew Voorhees, was the starter last year going into the year. And so I don't think so. I think it might be like after week 14, like later in the season, but I don't think it's just going to be like after week 1. So I guess yes, after week 1, but like late after week 1. Kimberly Harmon got a question in saying, hashtag Ravens, will Derrick Henry or Lamar Jackson go over 1,000 yards or more in the regular season? Rushing, I think, is what you're asking. I don't think Lamar will go over 1,000 yards rushing. I think he could. I just don't think he will. Derrick Henry will go over 1,000 yards rushing. He better go over 1,000 yards rushing. $30 million, 2-year extension. Yeah, get me a K. I think he will. Darius is next saying, hashtag Ravens, do you think we finally beat Kansas City this season? This is a loaded question, Darius. I think we do, but I think it's in the playoffs. Ooh, spicy, right? May 20th, we're already making that call. I just think where you play Kansas City week 4, you open up on the road against the Bills, and then you have a home game, and then another home game against Detroit, and then you go on the road against Kansas City. Like, it's in a weird spot. It's really going to be hard to win. It's always hard to win against the Chiefs. It's always hard to win against the Chiefs on the road, especially after you played the Bills and the Lions 2 games in the 3 weeks prior. I would probably say they lose against Kansas City in the regular season just because of that spot, but I think they beat them in the playoffs. Count that in. Another thing you can count in is this Ravens t-shirt. It's 50% off right now. Chatsports.com/Ravens t-shirt. I know it's hard to get a lot of really great Ravens swag for the cheap. It was $30. Now it's only $16. Chatsports.com/Ravens t-shirt is where you need to go to get this deal. The comments are going to be the link's going to be in the comments and description. Big shout out to the friends at Fanatics. If you guys know anything about Fanatics, their material is so comfortable. You look good in it. And we all know that summers in Baltimore can get a little bit warm from time to time. If you're looking for a great present for Father's Day, a great birthday present, a great 4th of July present, I don't know. I don't care. It's $16. Chatsports.com/Ravens t-shirt is where you need to go. Dr. Ilwan has the next question saying, hashtag Ravens, I really like what I saw in Braid. He could be a baby Hamilton. Do you think he will get a real shot to be the third safety? I do, Dr. Ilwan. At this point of recording, it's been about a week since the Achilles tear for Ardarius Washington, and Baltimore has yet to do anything to replace him in free agency. Now, part of that might be they just don't really think this free agency class, safety-wise, is up to snuff, which I disagree with. They got some good options. But I think the more realistic part of that is they just really believe in Bo Braid. They really think he could step up and be Ardarius Washington. Because you got to remember what Ardarius Washington is. He's a good safety, but like he's not this unbelievable Ed Reed type. He's really great against the run. He makes smart plays, but like he's not wonderful and perfect in coverage. Neither is Bo Braid. I think they just need to throw a strong safety in there on early downs, a guy who's not afraid to hit somebody, who's aggressive, and that's exactly what Braid is. Loved watching him in the preseason. Really hope to see him at least get a shot to be that third safety on the roster. 21 Savage Cheese is our next question. Hashtag Ravens, would you have loved Stephon Gilmore on our team for depth? Yeah, I would have, especially speaking of Ardarius Washington because of that injury. Because prior to that, I don't think you necessarily needed a ton of depth on the outside because of just the way that your defensive back room was set up with Kyle Hamilton being a little bit more flexible, both Ardarius and Malaki in the safety room. And then you got the outside corners in Marlon and Nate. Well, now with Ardarius getting hurt, they're probably going to shift back and flex back Kyle Hamilton to the safety role. That means Marlon's going to go on the inside. It means you're going to have a starting outside cornerback. Stephon Gilmore is still a guy who can give you good reps in this league. So, yeah, I'd love him for a little bit of depth. Next up is Sheamus Rax. Hashtag Ravens, do you think David Ojabo steps up, earns a spot this year, gets cut before the season? Sheamus Rax, I think he gets cut. I don't see him stepping up. He's missed too much time. He's far too injured. He's not that great when he's in there either. It's hard to call him a bust, but, like, he hasn't been very good. So I think they take Tavius Robinson over David Ojabo. At least that's what I would do. I'd sign an outside edge rusher like Von Miller or Jadeveon Clowney over them either, or as well. Dr. Ilwan, hashtag Ravens this preseason with a good match, a backup QB. What non-starting wide receiver or tight end makes a name for himself? Ooh, great question. Dr. Ilwa, killing it today with questions. I think watch out for Dayton Wade again. Dayton Wade was the star of the preseason last year. He made a lot of really good plays. He made some bad quarterback play from Emery Jones and Devin Leary look good. I think watch him. I also think everybody's going to be fascinated and in love with LeJontay Wester, okay? Those are two names I would look at to make some noise, and I'm really excited to watch both those guys, okay? Dayton Wade, loved him last year. Really, really hope he's taken another step up for his game over the past year. Darius Williams, I think Lamar Jackson is in his prime, or do we got more in him? This is an interesting question because with Lamar, it's like twofold. Because I think the older he gets, the less athletic he's going to be. I'm not saying that he's going to be not athletic this next season. I still expect him to rush for a ton of yards, make a ton of guys miss, and be an absolute freak. But that's just like science. You get older, you get a little bit slower. Like, that's just how life works. He's never going to be his 22-year-old self that we saw coming into the league. Like, he's never going to be that fast, never going to be that twitchy. But also, as quarterbacks get older, usually around age 30 is when they hit their prime because the defense and everything kind of just slows down for them. They're able to pick apart defenses a little bit easier. And Lamar's 28 right now. He's getting close to that. And so I think he's at the beginning of his prime. Maybe year 2 of it. I think he's got a lot more in him as well. 21 Savage Cheese coming up next. Say hashtag Ravens. Who do you think will take a bigger step, Zay Flowers or Rashod Bateman? I mean, Zay got 1,000 yards last year. So I don't know how much of a big step you could want him to take. I think Rashod Bateman takes the bigger step out of the two of those. I mean, I said it in the beginning of the show. I got to stand on business. I said he could be a wide receiver 1 at the end of the year. And so that would be a massive step. I think it's Bate. I love Bate. Can't wait to see him. Bob Barker, final question of today's episode. Hashtag Ravens. Should we trade for Jaire Alexander? It's a question we talked about a lot over the last couple of months. It's been an interesting situation in Green Bay. As the time of this recording, he has yet to sign a restructure contract, but he's also yet to be cut. He's yet to be traded. He's just kind of been in limbo for the last 3-4 months or so. I don't think they trade for him. I think they wait to see if he gets cut or not. That way they get him at a reduced price. His contract is so much. Like, you'd have to pay him a ton of money, and it's just such a massive risk because of his injury status. If I'm Eric DeCosta, I'm not making any drastic moves to go out, trade for Jaire Alexander, because there's a decent chance he just gets cut anyway and you can just go sign him. Make the call for me in the comment section. What should the Ravens do with Alexander? Should they trade or should they pass on him? Let me know in the comments right now. Thank you guys for watching today's mailbag. Again, if you guys want to be there on Tuesday evenings, we go live at 5 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications so you never miss a moment.